Well, tonight's going to be a little bit different as far as the sermon. It's probably going to be a little bit more of a kind of a report, presentation, kind of a what's coming type of thing. And so hopefully you'll enjoy this. Just really excited to share with you what is happening, what's on the cusp here with some missions work that we have. About mid 80s, met a sweet young thing in college and decided to follow her back up to the great state of Alaska with a teaching degree in hand. Just so excited, and there was really just one problem, and that was there was no teaching jobs. There was a waiting list to put your application in to be on the sub list in the Anchorage School District. That's how full it was. And so there's no way I was getting a teaching job here. And I'm like, wow, I just, spent 4.5 years, getting a degree. And it's like, it doesn't look like God's going to use it, at least not in the immediate future. But after a couple of years, I got a teaching job out in St. Mary's, Alaska, on the Yukon River, Yupik village there. And so Lan and I spent 4 years out in St. Mary's. Got the map. St. Mary's is right there, okay? Right on the Yukon River, just off the Yukon River, and we just had a wonderful time there. And little did I know, God is working on my heart and just preparing me for loving bush life, loving bush culture, loving Native Alaskan people and culture, and just feeling so at home there, so at peace. And so you go, well, what are you doing in Anchorage? And it's like, that's a great question. But Lan and I moved back into Anchorage, and and I put my application in. We started having kids. We wanted to be closer to family. Lou and Life were born while we were out in St. Mary's, and so I wanted to move back into town, get closer to family. But I got no teaching jobs. I got nothing in the valley, nothing in the peninsula, nothing in Anchorage. And again, I'm going, okay, well, all right, Lord, what are you going to do? And got him down stump, picked up the phone, gave me a call, and said, hey, I think I have a job for you. And I said, well, I'm not sure you do. And he said, well, I think I do. And he was right. I was wrong. And that was fall of 1991. So that's two things. I've been here a while, and I am ancient. But God is, I just see that, and being a teacher at the school, and then being in pastoral ministry at the church, and then being in pastoral ministry at the school, and how all this has come. I just, it kind of blows you away, just going, I didn't see any of this happening like this, but especially for my position now, and as I look at what we're looking forward to here, the combination of pastoral ministry and education is a perfect fit. So, Grace to Alaska missions started in 1999 with a phone call from Nulato. There were some suicides in the village, and things were really rough. And so there was a phone call to one of our teachers here, and said, "Would you please? You want to know where Nulato is? Okay. Keep on. Where's the button? There. Okay. Nulato is right. It's on here. Right. Oh, it's Huslia. It's right in here. I think this is a different map than we had. So it's right about in here, just down south of Huslia there a little bit. So that's where Nulato is, just down from Galena. We'll talk about that in a second. But Nulato is an Athabascan village, and they had some rough times. And so the phone call came in. Can you please come and bring some of your students and give our children hope? Can you please help us? And so the teacher said, yeah, we can do that. And so we went on a trip. Their first trip was 1999. It was tough. First year was tough. Not everyone was really excited for us to for the school to have students in the village, especially being Grace Christian School. They're like, "What are you doing here?" People said, "You need to go. You need to get back on the plane. You're not welcome here." And the teacher rightfully said, "Well, the village elders invited us. The school has said we can come. We're staying, but we will respect your views that you don't want us to proselytize your children. You don't want us to. We're just coming here to be a blessing to you," is basically what she said, and it's understandable that there was a lack of trust, so they just really wanted to know what you want. If there's one thing that I've learned through the years about Bush, Alaska, it is that relationships are the utmost important. It is the most important thing, having relationships. There is no substitute for it. The folks in Bush, Alaska, the native people and folks in Bush, Alaska have seen many, many people come in for all kinds of different reasons: jobs, to make money, to get something from them, to maybe get a cool experience, to all sorts of different things. And so one of the questions that I was asked the first day that I was in St. Mary's was, "Why are you here? How long are you staying? What are you doing?" I'm like, I don't know. I'm here for the foreseeable future. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. And I just, have the privilege to call folks from St. Mary's my friends to this day, which is wonderful, But relationships is huge. And so when you first come, it is not wide open. Yeah, whatever, the trust is there. You have to really put time in there. And so we did that as a school, and I don't know if you've been to the South Commons there. You might not have been to South Commons, but all the way down at the other end of the building, there's a banner. Okay, it's a big banner, big purple banner, purple and white, school colors. No, those aren't our school colors. I don't know if they're church colors. Do we have colors? I don't think we do. Anyway, so a big purple and white banner, and it says hope. And on the 10th anniversary, the team that was there. 10th anniversary of us going to New Lotto, the village came and said, "We made this for you. Thanks for giving our kids hope." Praise the Lord for that, huh? And so, over 20 years that we've been working with New Lotto, and we've added other villages that we've had, and sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't work out, and we moved around, and I'll tell you a few of those tonight. But it's just what a privilege to be able to do that. We were all ready to go back out to the villages here. We go in April is when we go. So April 2020, we were ready. Oh, we were set, And what about probably March 10th, maybe 2020? We ain't going anywhere. Nobody's going anywhere. And so it's like, well, we had. If you go back over here, we had packing day yesterday, and we have all of our food and our supplies that we mail out so we can eat and do things, do our skits and crafts and things like that with the kids. So we have all that stuff there ready to mail out. We had mailed it all out, so it's we told teachers or principals that we trusted there, just give it to people, whoever can use it. The food, just give it to whoever, and just God bless you, enjoy it. It's probably going to be a few challenging months here ahead, and so they did that, and so that was we didn't go in 2020. And isn't it interesting? The thing that happens is in schools, the kids just don't stay in the same grade. They keep moving, they keep changing, and so our seniors this year. Nobody in our high school has been on an Alaska missions trip. None of them have. And our seniors, there was several of them that were ready to go. They were signed up. They were all ready to go, and it fell apart. And so we are excited that at least a few of those who are ready to go, a few of those seniors are able to go this year. But the purpose of Grace to Alaska missions trips is to share the love and hope of Jesus Christ with the people of Bush, Alaska. That's what we want to do. Share the love and hope of Christ with those in the bush. And we have a team verse that we have. Lana's got in church. There's a few of them that have some sweatshirts on. Our team sweatshirts. We all we want to have our sweatshirts on so that and t-shirts on so that people know, oh, okay, you're a Grace person, okay, and we have a theme this year, and our team verse is 2 Corinthians 5:20. Therefore, we are ambassadors for Christ, God making his appeal through us. We implore you on behalf of Christ, be reconciled to God. And that pretty much sums it up right there. That's exactly what we want to do. We want to be ambassadors for Christ. We want to share the love of Jesus Christ with these students, with these people. We want to share with them. You may have seen as you came in, there's little prayer cards that we have, and it has pictures of the teams on there and where we're going and when we're going. We'd love for you to pray for us and keep us in mind that way. And as you do pray, pray that we may be able to share the love of Jesus with those that we come in contact with. As an ambassador of Christ, we want to serve people as Jesus would, and we'll tell you about that here in a second. But Jesus was a servant leader. That's what he did. He served people, and that's what we want to do. And then when we have opportunity and we're able to, and questions are asked us, we want to be able to share the gospel of Jesus Christ, the good news, like we heard here. We want to be able to share that. We want to be able to tell that good news, and we have been able to do that many, many times, and we're just so thankful for that. And relationships, I told you, relationships is so important. And in not just native communities, but in all of Alaska, but I think in rural Alaska specifically, relationships are hugely important. And there are kids from our school that have relationships with kids from places in the villages that they've gone to this day. They will get together in Anchorage and talk, and they're on social media together, and they're just communicating. So it's just really neat to see those relationships building and reaching out to to kids from Grace when they have heartache, when they have really challenging stuff going on in their lives. They'll reach out to them and ask for prayer and ask for advice and ask for guidance there. So that is wonderful. The next part of that verse, God making his appeal through us. It is not lost on us that we get to be used by God to bring his message of love and hope to people. And what a privilege that is. What a privilege that is to bring this message to people. And so we are preparing a lot. We're meeting 2 mornings a week, 6:30 to 7:30, to prepare for this trip. And one of the little illustrations that I got, and really what we want to do is we want to be clean, we want to be sharp, we want to be available for use of the Lord. That's what we want to do, and so that's why we're spending all of this time being ready, so that if the situation arises, we are prepared and we're ready to be the instrument that God uses, and so we are looking for opportunities to basically have the opportunity to ask people, if they are reconciled to the Lord, if they are, and talk with them about that. So very excited about that. Let me talk about the villages here for a second. If you can go back to the map there, Robbie. Okay, so team number 1 is going to go do Nulato. It's like I say, it's right about in there. Sorry for the shaky hand. That's hard to do. But Nulato is an Athabascan village, population about 300 people. It's located on the Yukon River, down from Galena, up from Kaltag. It's about 350 miles due west of Fairbanks. And this is the village that we've been going to the longest, over 20 years. So just fun to hear people. Every one of these villages that we talked to said, "Yes, please come. Oh, we're excited. Glad you're coming back." One is our first village, first time we've been there, but the rest were just so excited. And Nulato, we'll talk to you a little bit about it, but we go through the principles, and Nulato has a believing principle, and so it's pretty exciting to be able to work with her. And team one is going to go to Koyak next, and back on the map. There we go, Robbie. And Koyak is right here. Okay, so here's Nome. Unalakleet's about right there, so this is Norton Sound, and Koyak is right there, okay? And Koyak is located at the mouth of the Koyak River, northeast end of the Norton Bay and Norton Sound and the Seward Peninsula. It's an Inupiaq village, but traditionally Inulit and Malamute. I obviously am brutal here. My Inupiaq is not as good as it should be. But it is an Eskimo village there, Inupiaq, with a population of about 350 people. They do have a church there, a good church. It's a covenant church. And it's a checkpoint for the Iditarod each year. And we've been serving people and going up there for about 14 years there in Koyak. Team two, and the dates of our trip, Team 1, Nulato and Koyak, that's April 10th through the 16th. And then Team 2 is Gamble and Makoriak. That's April 17th through the 24th. So Gamble is right out here. That's St. Lawrence Island. Okay, they say, and I don't, my Siberian Yupik is worse than my Inupiaq. But, they say it's like clay that was squeezed in the hand, and that's how the island, what the island looks like, okay? And so there's only two, as you can see, there's only two villages on there, Gamble and Savunga. Savunga is a little bit bigger than Gamble. Gamble is 35 miles off the coast of Russia, and it's about 200 miles from Nome. And so you are out there, and you... Sarah Palin would have been accurate if she would have said, you can see Russia from my house, because you can see it as you're coming into Gamble. It's not hard at all. So it's about 200 miles, like I said, 200 miles southwest of Nome. It's an Alaskan Siberian Yupik native community, population about 700. And we've been serving the people of Gamble for about 15 years. And then Makoriak is the last village. It's the first time to Makoriak. Bethel's right here, and this is Nunivak Island, okay? And Makoriak is right there. Makoriak is the only village located on Nunivak Island in western Alaska. It's between the mouth of the Kuskokwim and Yukon rivers. It's a traditional Yupik people group. Broad group would be Central Yupik. The population is around 210 people, and this will be the first opportunity that we have to go to Makoriak. So we're excited to be there. They do have a church that is very active there. It's a covenant church, and I was interested as I talked with the principal. When you go to the villages, relationships is very important. I've told you this. But you also need to be careful with your relationships. And so relationships between the school and the church are not always that great. But in Makoriak, the principal said, you will not have a problem with preaching in the church on Sunday and Monday being in the school. You just won't have a problem. Everybody, it's just, same people, same there. It's just real relaxed, which is a big relief that you don't have to worry about that relationship and what is going on there. So we're excited to be there, and it looks like we may have an opportunity to put on a church service there at night for the people of Makoriak, so pretty excited about that. I don't think Ethan and Jamila knew that, so hey, gotta learn stuff sometime. Anyway, the reason we work with the schools is this: one, when we get to the villages, it's really a lot easier to have the relationships of the school working together, school and school. You're coming there. That's understood. Everybody gets that. And so that coming in is pretty easy to defend to people that we are coming in and working that way. It also gives us a place to sleep. We get to use their kitchen. We get to use their facilities to have meetings and stuff like that. So it really works out well for us to be there, part of the school. The problem is if we spend too much time with missionaries that are there, or maybe a church, it can be just a pull there. So we really try and balance that out and just do as best we can. We always do go and talk with the missionaries and meet with the church, and we're there. And depending on whether we're there on a service, we've gone to services many times in different villages, and some are churches that are really pretty neat, and others are not so good. And so it just depends on which village you're in. But we partner with the schools and then look for other opportunities to broaden that and work more with the rest of the village. During the school hours, we serve them in whatever capacity that we can. We clean, we work in the kitchen, we tutor students. We've actually organized libraries, and one of the villages we said, hey, can you organize our library? I said, we could probably do that. So, got to know your alphabet, but I think our kids got it. So we're gonna go help and do that, and just whatever we can do to help a school and encourage the principals and the teachers there. So we're excited about that. We do at least one assembly in the school, and it's a secular assembly, so it's not a gospel-centered assembly at all during the school day. Excuse me. So that'll be something like anti-bullying, saying no to drugs. Cyberbullying is running rampant in our culture these days, all over the place, and the villages it's no different. And so just talking about that, encouraging them, some entertainment, but just really being fun and inviting them to come back and spend time with us after school hours. And then after school hours, we use games and mimes and skits and crafts and just one-on-one conversations. And it is amazing in just 3 or 4 days the depth of relationships that can be had there. I mean, it really is amazing that kids will open up to our kids in such a short period of time and share their very heart. And some of the conversations we have are really hard. But what a blessing. What a blessing to be able to have those and pray for them and just encourage them, So we will have, in the evening, we will have gospel-centered assemblies that we have and present the gospel in a variety of different ways. And then on weekends, we have time that where we can either go on a walk around town with kids. We'll have them show us their village and just show us things that they want to show us. There are times where we've gone into people's homes and done some visiting. Visiting is a big deal in villages in Alaska, so it is very much welcomed. And so we've visited people and just really building relationships. I did a blog here, I don't know when it was, last week I think, but I talked about time because that is such a different thing in the villages. Basically, you just the only time you're worried about is you want to make sure you don't miss your flight. But other than that, time is not really all that important in the villages. And anyways, it told what I thought was a fascinating story about missionaries that came and brought a clock tower to Norvik. Because they felt that church, and being prompt for church was very, very important. And it was just really interesting. And I had never thought about, villages without clocks, but yeah, it's a very, very different thing for them. So all of these cultural things that we experience are so good for us, and spending time with people and relationships is just such a powerful thing. So we're excited for that. We desire to build relationships on these trips. And do we desire to build relationships one-on-one, person-to-person, friends? Yes, we do. But we also desire to build relationships school to school and from our school and our church to other communities. That's what we want to do, and just be able to help people. It was Amy. I thought it was so cool that they shared. There's your, he shared about playing in the gym here, and that's so fun that maybe there's no interaction that happens, but you're going, I know this place. I've been in there once. I played in a tournament there or whatever. And if we can have those relationships, who knows what doors the Lord is going to open up for them to come and hear the gospel and respond. And so it's the Lord that does this. It's not us. We just get the privilege of being vessels that He uses, for His glory. And so we're excited about that, and be glad to answer any more questions about that. Again, there's prayer cards back there, and we very much value your prayers for us as we go. Again, the first trip is April 10th through the 16th, and Team 2 is April 17th through the 24th. So we're working hard and preparing for that, but we're very excited. I thought what we'd do is just show a little video of, I think it was the last trip that we went on. This is Koyuk and Nulato, so it's the two villages that Team 1 will be going to, and so this will give you just an indication and an experience of what that's like. Well, we're going to have Ben and the worship team come up and do one last song, but I wanted to just say as they're coming up that hopefully you recognize a couple of those kids in there were from our church, but the school going is a representation of you sending us as well. We do this together, and we're very thankful that, Anchorage Grace is, Grace Christian School is a ministry of Anchorage Grace, and we're very thankful that we get to do this. And so us going out and ministering these villages really is, you sending us and allowing this opportunity for us to do that. So that's not lost on us. We're very thankful for that. And we hope that you feel unified and represented and that you will pray for us as we go.